Melanie Fiona, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Such a pleasure. The
Thank
first
you.
LA Soul Music Festival.
Amazing.
We can't have enough soul, you know. The world is crying out for great singers, great songs, real players.
Yes.
You know, computers and technology are great, but they're not an excuse for the human spirit.
At all.
You know.
Yeah.
And I know you've been inspired. You talk about the Bob Marleys and the Marvin Gayes, the Sam Cookes, the Mariahs and the Whitneys and the Sade and all the great artists out there. You know, what do you learn from them that you can impart on the next generation?
I've learned that your voice is a powerful tool, and when people are listening, you have a responsibility to say something, whatever it is. Just say the truth, whatever that is. Your truth, the truth. I'm a firm advocate for living in your truth every day, being aware of what's happening, human condition, human empathy. It's very, very important. So often we're focused on the things that separate us, and music is something that really brings us together. And so if there's one thing that I've learned from those artists, it's definitely that, the power of unity through music.
Yeah. The music was always the soundtrack to whether it be a protest or an uprising or you know, a war, or getting people to realize what are we fighting for. And it seems like the first time in history, a lot of this civil action and everything, music is kind of a lesser part of that. And I think we need to bring the soul back to the soul.
Absolutely. Lots of love, lots of soul. Absolutely.
Yeah. Being a Canadian, I know it's a great time. I went to college on the Canadian border right below Vancouver, and you know, always remarkable Canadian artists I'd hear on Canadian radio, and right over the border they weren't getting to play. But you know, what can you say about your friend Drake and the breakthrough that he's had in America?
I can say that I'm so proud of him. You know, we started off at very similar times together. We used to sing at this little lounge supper club together when we were younger, and before anyone knew who we were, record deals, all of it. And I'm very, very proud of him. I think that I've always seen his potential as an artist. I've always seen the vision that he's had for himself, and I'm so proud that he's followed through on that. And the world has recognized it and recognized that Canada is a vessel of talent, and we just have so many great artists.
We're so more in common with each other than apart. I always say there's an imaginary border,
Yes.
and politics should be second to the human spirit, because we're all in North America together.
Absolutely.
You know, whatever creed and religion you are, we're one race on one planet right here. It doesn't bite. Don't worry. No, it's
No. He's flying around like he's blind.
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's the little ones that bite. The big guys like that, they're like.
This big, guys. It's like this big.
It's crazy. Now I know 2 Grammy wins, and working with CeeLo. Talk about CeeLo Green.
He's a character, a true artist, and
a lot of soul.
So much soul. It just oozes out of him. It's like his creativity is insane and it's infectious, and I'm so proud and honored to have collaborated and to have a song celebrated by the Academy, and I mean, forever, such a huge accomplishment for me in my life, and I'm so thankful for that opportunity, really.
I still think he's underrated, you know?
Oh my God.
People saw him on The Voice, but they don't understand what a talent he is, from hip-hop to soul to pop.
I mean, his catalog of music just transcends beyond, you know, what people might know of him. Yeah. I mean, songs that he's written for other people, and, you know, just from, like you said, from hip-hop to soul, he's so talented. One of the most talented people I've ever met.
Yeah. And I noticed a gentleman early in your career, Steve Rifkin. A lot of people don't know Steve, but a real pioneer. Put Akon on, so the Wu-Tang Clan.
Steve is a pioneer, and again, so thankful to have someone who has a vision of legacy in music, plucking me out of Canada and being like, hey, I believe in you, you know, it really is amazing. And I still keep in touch with Steve all the time, and you know, he's really amazing, an amazing person, yeah.
And I know Jay-Z's in your life. What can you say about the man behind the...
I mean, he is a powerhouse. If there's anything about the American dream, I mean, he is it. I mean, coming from where he came from to being one of the most notorious, successful businessmen and artists. Independently. I mean, he's self-made, and I that's admirable, and it's a great person to have, to be able to be around and to talk to as a mentor. Yeah, it's great.
He keeps surprising us. I know he's got the Latin division coming and the sports and so much.
He knows what's up.
I know he's only scratching the surface.
Yep.
And then writing with Rihanna, what's that like?
You know, I never wrote with her, but I wrote for her.
Okay.
And it was.
What is that like?
It was great.
Her sing your song.
That was the first placement I ever got as a songwriter. This was before I even released music, and that was a big deal for me. It's like, wow, I got a song on Rihanna's second album, and it was awesome. It was a great stake for me to start as a songwriter in the music industry before people knew me as a singer. Yeah.
And I know you do a lot in Europe, and we're seeing these terrorist attacks in France and Germany and all this, and again, people don't understand. We're more in common than we're different, and I know they have such a deep appreciation for soul music and American, North American artists. What can you say about our European brothers and sisters?
I'm just sending so much love their way, knowing that even though we're oceans apart, we hurt for you, we pray for you, and it's important to know that if we channel our energies towards positive things will happen. Let's not give power to the negative things and the people who are angry and don't know how to express themselves in a loving and peaceful way, and they feel the need to outlash for them. We pray for them, and we want to send them love as well, because it's needed. I just think the world needs love right now so much, so much.
And we need to have each other's back. We need to stand against these people that think they can drag us down. There's no way with the forces that we have. Now, in closing, what advice do you have to the younger generation? Because I know a lot of them, they come up, they're looking for the shortcut. They think the computer click over here is going to take them to instant stardom with some fake views and some fake friends. And, we all know the dedication. When you're talking about a Sam Cooke or a Marvin Gaye or a Bob Marley, we're talking about people that put their lives on the line and really we're a student of the game every day. What do you school these young, generations into really taking this more seriously and looking at the bigger picture?
Have respect. Have respect for the art, have respect for yourself, have respect for the people who came before you. It is an art, and you have to keep it and preserve the art. Don't cheapen the art. I see it all the time, people who do think it is an overnight thing. I mean, if people only knew what I had to go through to get to where I am right now. It's been years in the making. I had to literally sacrifice my comfort of living in Canada and leave countries and my families and miss birthdays and the commitment that it takes, and yeah, and and I just feel like I would hope that the new generation that's coming up in music has integrity and an honesty and truth to respect what it is and the opportunity of what that is when you do have a platform to say something and do something good.